Now, Gilly, were there moments again today, and in spite of the Siraj 4 wickets, where when Bumrah went off, it looked like a different cricket match, and when Bumrah was on, it looked like a different cricket match?
Yeah, there was one statistic there today. At one point, I think Bumrah had maybe 11 wickets at 8, or maybe it was at 9 in the series, and the rest of the bowling lineup had 13 wickets at about 30. So that shows you that there's one sort of lone ranger out there leading, and he was well supported. We're probably, like we jumped on Australia pretty quickly in the first test. We're probably jumping on India a little bit hastily after what they showed us in the first test. There's great intent, and there is some aggression there. There's also a couple of debutants, or there were in Perth, and so there's Harshit Rana and Nitesh Kumar Reddy, who are only in their second test matches. So let's not be too quick to really jump all over them. Foreign conditions, under lights. But yeah, Bumrah, well, what about when Jasprit went down with what seemed to maybe be cramp, that little pause in
How
play?
many people's hearts missed a beat, Gilly? How many people's hearts missed a beat?
It felt like the series storyline was right there. For 3 or 4 minutes of treatment on that field, it felt like, and even I, as an Australian cricket loyalist, was praying that wasn't him waddling off and we don't see him again, because that may have really killed off a series. Who knows what lies ahead? As you say, 5 tests. That's the exciting thing about this. And regardless of what happens, we've seen such a change of events on a daily basis so far. It's got the feeling of an epic series coming up. So, but Bumrah, he's the main event. He is the main act, and he's a class above everyone else at the moment.
4 for 61 from 23 overs. His bowling average, a career bowling average now, 186 test wickets, has now slipped under 20. There's only 3 people in contemporary cricket who've got that. One, interestingly, is Akshar Patel, but he's not even in the squad now. And the other is Kyle Jamieson, who's injured. Otherwise, of all the players who completed their careers with a bowling average of under 20, the last was Frank Tyson. And I think when he was bowling Typhoon Tyson, neither you nor I were born. And if I wasn't born, that's going a long way back. But there's something about Bumrah, Gilly. I used to come, when I came to Australia in 99, but even more so, 2003, 2007, everywhere I went, some of the events you go to, the people you meet, all the questions are about Tendulkar. And there was a bit of an aura about Tendulkar when he came to Australia. I sensed that about Bumrah. And I sensed that briefly about Kohli in 18. I did come in 21 because of COVID. So I sensed that with Kohli to some extent. But what I'm seeing about Bumrah in Australia this year, people stop me in the streets and ask me about Bumrah. There's this aura that is genuinely akin to Tendulkar's aura when he used to come here.
Yeah, well, I think it's because of the stats that you just spoke about there, Harsha. That's the class of player that, well, you didn't even mention the names that he's above, or should I say below, in bowling average. If you're getting down lower than all the greats, the great West Indians, McGraths, there's too many greats, Hall of Fame bowlers that he's eclipsing at the moment, and doesn't look like changing. So that's what's fascinating about him. Throw in the unique bowling action, the awkwardness of everything that you see before you. He spoke to Mark Howard on our coverage about his bowling action and how he said, did the coaches try to change you when you were younger? He said, well, no one really spoke to me because no one thought I was any good. No one thought I was going to be sustainable for any length of time. So I think that story has captured the imagination of the Australian public, and they just simply know class. You're right about Tendulkar. They identified that when he came out as the 18-year-old and scored those dual hundreds in that series around the early 90s. They'll acknowledge class, and they are, I think, in awe of what he's capable of. And I think that's why he's been so highly respected. And they hear what the Australian players are saying about their opponent, that they almost know they're playing against a great bowler, someone who's going to go down in a Hall of Fame.